Okay, I'm doing a recording test, Microsoft Flight Simulator, just updated the driver, adjusted some anti-alias settings, and I just tested Battlefield 6. It works good. You can look the path I gotta go. It's got a 14 knot crosswind. It's gonna be out and then left. And let's just fly. See how it looks. Not bad. Actually looks pretty good. I will turn off the flight director and auto throttle. And let's get back. We can look. We appear to be configured. Land, and I think the runway is over to the left. Let's get back inside. Somewhere over here. Over there somewhere. Let's turn the lights on. Is that it right there? Yeah, I think that is. Okay, well, it's gonna be kind of hard to yeah, this is not. That's not gonna happen. I gotta pull back up, and I'm gonna make a 180. I don't know if it's gonna time me out. But that's all I can do, really. Gotta make sure I keep the airspeed up. Say I don't want to stall. And this is a fairly steep, sharp 180. Yeah, it's like 360. Oh! No, that's not good. That was some pretty extreme turbulence. Looking for the runway. Very difficult. Oh, there it is. Wow. Wow. Let's see if I can land. You're down. You don't want to land around 120. Sitting around 160. I'm going to slow down a bit. And I can see I got 4 whites. I do see the landing area. Slowing down a bit more.
300.
And I'm going to retard. Throttle right off.
100. 650, 40, 30, 20. Retard, 5.
Those thrusters. I think I went past the landing mark, but who knows? Maybe a good score. There we go. Graphics don't look too bad. I think I could bump them up a little bit. Got an A. Pretty good. And that was, I couldn't find that runway. That was tough. Let's get into a strong wind. Yeah, this is a tough one here. Same with Gibraltar. And Innsbruck, Gibraltar, it is. This is like a dusk coming in, and again, same aircraft. We'll be landing around 150 knots, and we are off. Let's go down. Let's put the lights on. We'll be able to see the. Let's go up a bit. Down. Yeah, there we go. And it looks like it's configured. The airport is in the distance over there, so I got to come out. So I'm watching my altimeter. I'm at 2,900 feet and doing 150. So I want to keep around 150, 160, and then I can slow down right at the end. It's pretty good. I mean, I think I'm getting pretty good frame rates. Might even be able to bump it up. Let's go back a bit. I can't even look a little.
2,500.
It's 160. And I can feel the wind. That's why I want to keep it up a little speed, a little high speed. Now, have you noticed that you're seeing a lot of castles, just grand, majestic structures, and greater than pyramids, greater than these are all like wonders of the world. Well, why did you never hear about them before? You know why? Because they weren't there. And the reason I think what's happened is either the CERN project or something has affected our timeline, and I think it created some sort of a pole shift back in the day in like another timeline. So the Earth, or God, or Source, had to create all these structures to save humanity, or the planet would cease to exist. So that's my theory, and then there's Mandela effects that go along with that. See, I'm doing around 160. I am a little high according to those lights. And we're going to go smoke a doobie in a minute. But anyways, we'll get into more of that, but I have proof. I have synchronicities. I know what I'm talking about, and I will debate anyone. I understand physics, understand a lot of other stuff. Yeah, and we're
20.
That was weird because it's almost like I floated. It looked like I was gonna land, and then I just floated. That looks pretty good. Like, I mean, the frame rates look good. It's solid, no flickering, no blurs, no stuttering, and I can turn it up even higher. Yeah, see, that's not a bad landing. Maybe I'll go into, let's go back to, back to main menu. Let's go and do a tour. Where do we got? Activities, discovery flights. Got Mount Everest, you got Giza. Interesting one. New York. Bora Bora. Like I said, a lot of these structures and buildings and star forts couldn't have been built by man back then, and they were built to protect life from, that's why they have these columns, and there's so much granite and stone, because that's a natural grounding effect which inducts electricity via the copper spires from ether or weather or ether, and where that electricity is coming from is actually the source. So it's actually just being created out of nothing, just like a snowflake would. And then through other quantum thought processes. Now let's look around here. Tokyo, Mount Fuji, San Francisco. Let's do San Francisco. Yeah, I have no idea on how good this will be. Let's just fly around and we'll talk. San Francisco is one of the areas, but everywhere in the world, like all the basilicas, cathedrals, the reason they all look the same, they have a lot of fingerprints that they were made by, this is pretty good. They're made by the source. Okay, we're in one side. Let's go up a bit. There we go. Let's go back. Down. Let's turn the lights on. There we go. Oh, I can see the thermals coming out of the exhaust. Pretty cool. Anyways, these structures, I think they were induced naturally, and a lot of it's through quantum thought, and the source, which is everywhere, can detect the aura or of humans. So, and when these events that may happen right now or in the future affect the timeline, especially electromagnetic disturbances, that may unknowingly destroy life or cause a bullshit or something that will, life currently may survive it, but it may happen throughout the entire timeline. So the only alternative, or I guess the only way to save the planet, especially if it is a paradox created, because even if it survives now, but if it affects a timeline in the past, and may kill the past, and then nobody would be here right now. So that's why I think they did it. I think that a lot of people that would have died back then, the source has taken their DNA and recreated, cloned, or made them from. That's how you get the orphanages and the structures for them to survive or seek refuge during this pole shift, and that would create a mud flood. The pole shift with the waters being swishing all over the world, and that's where you had Noah's Ark. And cathedrals are really arcs too, but they're just upside down. If you look at Noah's Ark, it's the same as the roof as a cathedral. But you have the big pillars that withstand mud and the big large mass. They will stand up against anything. That's why they're made of that solid rock and stone. And like I said, a lot of these structures were creating water. They're creating electricity through water flows, inductions, all kinds of technologies that were all free, but since they got put in the timeline, which they had to be, now during that timeline you had malicious people that actually just tried to destroy or take or claim ownership, and that's what happened. That's why you get the oil industry, the coal industry. They adapted or capitalized on the resource that they could work with these trains that were built by the source. They were clean burning. Well, they weren't even burning. They were just inducted electricity heating up these steam engines. But the Rothschilds or whoever the people were that wanted to capitalize it and debt and enslave the entire planet, they ordered the destruction of them and the conversion to coal-fired steam engines, which originally they were magnetic electromagnetic inductions, similar to a Tesla technology. And then there was like all the railways and the structures and the tunnels. That was all basically created from the source, like a 3D printer. They just cut and fill, take out particles and reassemble them. And because it's coming from the source where there is no space or time or gravity or matter, it can integrate with the particles, realign them instantaneously. And they end up with a lot of the statues. I think that's because the energy of the minds of the people are recreated also, and that like the detail is lifelike because it's perfection. Perfect for systems, design, rail systems, food systems, energy systems, machine systems, transportation, you name it. And that's the reason why they tried to hide this. It's because people wanted to claim ownership, and they created a false history. So a lot of the history, I think, was created by the source to justify it so it doesn't show their intervention. But there was a lot of evil people that did take advantage of that. I can see it's not drawing right away, so I may have to adjust the terrain settings or something. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with how this is working. But I thought I'd just explain. I mean, I can explain how to communicate with that source and how to manifest certain things which don't show up right now. They show up through the past and timeline. It's all about preserving your life and love. There are synchronicities and things that will happen in my current 9-5 time frame. And that's this. I mean, there's a lot of intuitive, there's a lot of ways to develop this ability, and I'll put it this way, everything has to be positive and good and evil, because negative will actually inhibit the frequency and wave. So you can't fake it. So you're not going to have evil people using it because they can. A lot of evil people, they're so negative, they can't operate at that frequency required to amplify emotion, steady genuine emotion. It's not, it can work. But, and the Mandela effect, like this, well, how do you know that you did it? Well, I don't know specifically that I built a lot of these pathways, but I do know that they've been shown to me, and it's, I think it's a collective effort of people like myself have built too much into it and how I uncovered this, figured it out, but I have. But there are powers associated, and I can, a lot of it shows up in Mandela effects, but when you understand how these structures are built and why, and it's all over the world. That's why they look very similar. You get characteristics and different traits of symmetry and big arches and domes and granite and stones, and they're taking particles out of the ground. A lot of it is according to the structural area, so we pick the best to create the perfect masonry product and structure for everything, for ventilation, for cooling, for heating, for shelter, for strength, for withstanding mud floods and storms. So that's the purpose. But they never would have happened. They were built and created because there was no choice, because either current evil people or in the future affected the electromagnetic structure of the earth, and the pole flip will actually affect everyone in passive too. So there's a big danger in dealing with this type of certain technology technology that may very well end the world, but I do believe that the source has stepped in, and that's why all these structures are revealing themselves. And when they're not going to be in there, because they were not. They were just created because of some sort of a catastrophe of electromagnetic origin from now, or our current time frame, or the future, has left no alternative. Pretty cool. Oh wow, maybe I'll just land here. I'll just drop my gear. Anyway, so that's kind of the explanation. People say confusing, but believe it or not, I can tell you stories about synchronicities and how I created that synchronicity, or how I attracted something, or how I was saved, and then you would believe me. Okay, I'm gonna decide to go to the left. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I can go slower, but I can go. Yeah, I think 105 is a good speed to land. Let's try to just lightly lay down. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't, because this is just I don't even know where it's going to land. But this is just, I just checked out the graphics and I don't see any slowdowns. Nothing major, a few. But I think I can raise up the graphics, but I'm just going to enjoy it now. The clouds look good, the lighting, planes. Pretty good. I don't know if the pilot, like, turn on the I don't know if they'll lay it or they'll park it, because I didn't get permission to land. And I do have, I don't know where they're going. Take off. I didn't, maybe I'm supposed to do a certain path. Maybe we're going to go park there. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's the explanation of what it is, and people don't realize that everything is connected, even trees and animals, the unseen of antimatter, or what I source might be heaven, which is everywhere, but it's non-physical. I believe, I'm not sure, then maybe heaven may be a physical dimension, but a higher dimension. So it's hard to say, but there is something there. You know how to interact, and I can identify these structures. And I will assure you, they were not there before. If they were there before, they would have been listed. But there's a reason why they were hidden, because people wanted to steal that technology, and they didn't want that technology because they wanted to apply. They didn't understand it, but they knew that if they used coal to heat it up, they could sell coal to everywhere in the world and use that modern railways and buildings and heat them up with oil and wood and coal when none of that was needed. It was using electrical induction from the ether, or weather. And I know how to build it. I know how to build it. It's just a small device, and I will show that it will produce free energy through electromagnetic induction with high mass and a high spire. And the effect of the mass inducts the, look at these particles. This is cool. I just landed, and AI's land or parking. Crazy stuff. Wow, pretty cool. I wonder if I'll shut the aircraft off and I'll get some planes. Wow. But anyways, that's how things work. There's other ways to manifest stuff: good, bad, evil, healing, health, and a lot of that was in these structures. But it was destroyed because the evil Rothschilds, I'm pretty sure it was them and a few other evil Jews and other people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jews. It's the Zionist radicals. I mean, they're evil. Look at Dr. Fauci. He's evil mass murderer, killed millions and millions of people with his man-created virus in a lab, and China released it. Canada sent them stuff. Canada, Trudeau and Carney, all traitors, killed people by policy with intention, and that's the key. They knew what would happen, so it's intentional. It's mass murder. Sean Fraser, Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, I know all of them in there. There's all kind of that little frog French guy, Champagne. They're corrupt. They're evil. The Israel genociding people. I mean, it's just there's evil, and that's not good. And karmic justice will reflect. I dare them to look at me, and their sins will be reflected, and they will be terminated faster than you could wink. So there's the plane shut off by AI. Pretty cool. Like I said, you can AI can be fun and good in when there's oversight. So don't be afraid of AI. As long as it's not fully autonomous, it's got human oversight. Oh, what's blinking? Oh, that's my lights. It must be. Let me turn off the AI. Maybe the AI forgot to turn the lights off. And now let's lights. There, lights are off now. No blinking. Huh. Pretty cool. Well, I think we're going to end it there. This is just one of Duke's rants. I mean, I can go into historical. I started doing research on this and testing in 1979. And ever since then, I've been doing experiments and getting results. And I have them all in my head. I can actually tell you about them all. There's probably, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 10, 20, 30 interactions and moments that I've had that are, unexplainable and basically like miracles. And I know how to create anti-gravity through dual magnetic singularity. It's actually how you also do stargates. They're pointed at one another, and it uses the power of quantum thought, which is more powerful than any type of energy, and it comes from humans. And then basically the human is the conduit, and they're amplifying the instantaneous quantum energy, which is if there's no space or time, or if you're accessing somewhere there's no space or time and there's no mass, but you have mass here, it's going to create a flow of power on demand that's going to be, well, out of this world. And you can travel through time. So if you can get to that frequency level, there's no space or time. If you forward that cycle or reverse that cycle, it will, look at those people walking around, people, bus going by. It's actually a pretty cool game. This is Flight Simulator 2020. But anyways, that's a little food for thought. I'm going to do another flight maybe tomorrow, go a little more depth on my exact experiments and results over the years, and how I came to my theory. It's not a conspiracy theory, because no one else can explain it. And my theory has logic. It does explain it. There was no Big Bang theory. There's a lot of little bangs. And that's how life is created, how things are manifested, how nature creates rain or snow or snowflakes, or just, a lot of cycles. But there's a lot of unseen effects using, techniques of quantum thought and higher frequencies, and how to actually interact and then get positive synchronicities to respond. And like I said, I've created them. Some people, I've had a lot of people witness them too. So it's not just myself. I can verify them through people that have witnessed some of these. And if I tell them all, then they'll be going, wow. Because a lot of the people would only know about certain ones. But we'll get into that on another day. And right now, Duke is out from San Francisco, somewhere. Duke out.